Okay, then this is a P1 from GCSC 921, code 0972, and it's from spring 2019. In this contrast to our 5054, the time is 45 minutes. Well, nothing to worry about. We will go through the paper and we will do get some interesting questions. Question number one. So you start from 0050, go 1 hour, it is 10150, and then add 20 minutes, 2 o'clock, and then 10 minutes. Sorry, 20 minutes means to 10 past 2. So that's 1 minute and 20 seconds. It is a stop clock. It is not a clock and it's not a 24 hours. So it is the minutes and the seconds displayed here. Here, minutes and seconds. Read it carefully. So total distance over total time, simple. Well, when the fall, first of all, this is a metal ball. The acceleration is acting and its speed is constantly increasing. So here the speed will be minimum, great, greater, greatest. Speed between L and M will be greatest. Okay, so reject A and B. Now, time, well, when the speed is greatest, time will be shortest between L and M. So here, very simple, the weight is always acting downwards. Number 5. So it's a tricky question. How can you compare two masses? Can you compare the accelerations? Well, if they are falling freely, they have the same acceleration, the acceleration due to gravity. So we can't. Can you compare their volume? No, the volume comparison does not compare the masses. Can you compare their extension? Yes. The mass, the larger mass will extend the spring more. And beam balance, that is obvious. So we have 3 and 4. This is just a calculation question. Mass per unit volume will give you the density. Calculate them and you will find this one as the greatest density. So 20 kg means the weight is 20 newtons, 200 newtons, sorry, and the string has to provide an equal tension to keep it hanging there. So this T should be 200 newtons. So which graph is the load extension graph? It is this one. It is extension and it should start from 0. So number 9. Well, obviously, this will turn anti-clockwise. This will also turn anti-clockwise. Why not this one? This will not turn, and this will not turn. Why not this one? Why this one? Because they both have acting in the anti-clockwise direction. If you carefully look at it, the moment produced by this F will be smaller, and this F will produce a larger moment. So will this one. So the sum of these two moments will be greater than these two. That's why this will have the maximum turning effect. Well, machine efficient wastes less energy. The power means the same distance should be covered in a shorter time. That is the power. Because power is energy per unit time, and energy is work done, and work done is the distance covered multiply force. So if you're having a force and it covers a larger distance, or it at least covers the same distance, less time, it has more power. Very interesting question. We have water surface for submarines, and difference in pressure from initial to final depth of each submarine. So in this question, we see that this submarine and this submarine undergo minimum pressure change because of less change in the depth, whereas this submarine and this submarine goes deeper, so the pressure change for both is larger. That's why we have P and Q here for least change and R and S for greatest change. This is the correct choice. That's why. Well, the deeper the stone goes, the more the pressure is on the stone because of the water on the top of the stone will exert pressure. If there is more water, it will have more pressure from the top. Because the molecules of the gas are far apart, so that's why they can be compressed easily. The molecules escape from the surface, so go for B and D, and the temperature of the liquid decreases. We know this from evaporation. When a metal block is heated, its volume increases. All three sides increase. If you have a large thermal capacity and if there is a nighttime temperature increase, that will have the block to absorb most energy. Why it absorbs most energy during the night? Because of the surrounding temperatures are low. What is the name of the change R? So R is coming from gas to liquid, so it is condensation. Thermal conduction does not occur in vacuum. It do occurs in all three states, but it is mainly responsible in transfer of heat in solids. In liquids, it happens only to the molecules and then to the water, and then after that, convection starts taking place. And gas is also the same thing. It happens to the particles it gets in touch with, and then the convection takes place. When the cool air gets in touch with the cathode, the density of air decreases because it expands by touching the hot surface. Its volume increases, density decreases, and the air of less dense air rises up. So, what changes take place when ultrasound travels from muscle into bone? Okay, bone is a denser medium and muscle is less dense medium. So, and we have seen that greater speed in the bone and less speed refracts at the boundary between muscle and bone. Why it refracts? Because it travels at a greater speed in the bone. So ignore the previous one, denser or less dense, just follow this lead. When it travels at a greater speed at the bone, it means its wavelength is increasing. So we go for this one. Reject this because frequency doesn't really matter and it doesn't really alter. And the wavelength doesn't decrease because it says that the speed increases in the bone. We have a core, we have a weight attached. Transverse wave travel from X to Y. Transverse wave go like this. So it's going to make it move up and down. 30 centimeters plane mirror. Image is 60 centimeters from the object because we have image, object, 30 centimeters, mirror, then 30 centimeters, image. So from object, 30 plus 30 is 60 to the image. 60 centimeters from the object is image. Incident ray, angle of incidence, glass, and it is greater than the angle of incidence is greater than the critical angle. So TIR taking place, it will go like this. P. So what is P? It is IR because look, remember the EMS rugby match is very unlike xylophone game. So rugby is radio, match is micro, is infrared, V is visible light. And visible light then again has seven colors. So first one is red. So just before this comes IR, infrared. 1.2 second, it comes back and its speed is this one. So distance will be speed equal 2 times distance over time. 2 times distance is equal speed and multiply time. 1500 multiply 1.2, then divided with 2, and you should get 750 times 1.2 should be 900. Detected healthy human hair is 20 to 20 kilohertz because it loses magnetism when current is switched off. A steel ball will go like this. Why? Sorry, iron ball. Iron ball will be magnetized as soon as it arrives in the magnetic field of this magnet. Magnetic field will start attracting it, but it has its own inertia and momentum. So it's not going to straight attract to the magnet. It's going to keep going, but its path will deviate. When they're rubbed with the dry cloth, they become like this. So they should have the same charge, and the force should be repulsion between them. Ammeter correctly connected here and voltmeter here. No, doesn't look right. Voltmeter used to measure which line shows voltmeter ammeter connect. No, this is not right. So it's this. Apologies. Okay, 32. Student sets up 4 different circuits. Which is a heater in series with fuse? So again, this is wrong as well. So we have a heater symbol is this one and this one. So this one is in series with the fuse, so it should be Charlie. The reading on X is 4 amps. Here is 4 amps. Which statement is correct? The reading on Y and Z are both equal to 4 amps. Again, this is wrong. Because in a series circuit, the current stays the same. So if you want to vary the potential difference, this is the circuit you want to use. Because this, and this, they all have fixed resistance. And this one is just at the moment, it looks like it will control the current. So you want to look at the question again. Lamp is connected so that potential difference across it can be varied from 0 to 6 volts. This resistor, variable resistor, will decrease or increase the resistance of the circuit. Okay, and this setup, if you place the connection, this wire at different resistances, the voltage will accordingly change, decrease or increase. So this is the circuit that will be used for this purpose. Current in the heater is 10 amps, cable is 15 amps. Which fuse should be used? We should use 13 amps fuse. Should use 13 amps fuse. Because 13 amp means if it starts to increase current, should catch it after 10. So in this one, if the voltmeter shows 10 millivolts for a quick movement towards it, now when you move it slowly, the voltage should go down, and in the opposite direction means the voltage should reverse the direction, change the direction. So half and minus are you are looking for this one. Compasses, here it will be. So one thing you should look for, on the both side, the compasses should be either towards or away from it. So they're both towards. This is wrong, this is wrong, and this is, all three are wrong. Sorry, this one is wrong. So the both should not be towards. If one side is towards it, the other side should be away from it. Marking that on one side there is N pole, S pole on right side, and on the left side. And the top and the bottom are always parallel because of the field lines going like this. That's why we have the D choice. For nuclides, which pair are isotopes? Look for the similar proton numbers. So E and G are the isotopes. The results are shown. When there is nothing, the count rate is 95. Thin paper, count rate decreases. Alpha particle is there. Few mm of aluminium, count rate is not decreased. Beta particles are not there. And several centimeter of lead, count rate decreases. Gamma is there. So we have alpha and gamma. Well, it is undergoing radioactive decay. Thank you.